report also he has to send. So madam only has dealing microbiology. Okay. So how many have microbiology background? How many of you have microbiology background? So two have microbiology background. Okay. So I didn't explain in details regarding microbiology because microbiology is a very vast subject. So this 1 hour is not enough. So I will give a brief outline. What is microbiology? Okay. Ma'am, are you from Siddha? Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, have you take curd? You will take curd. Will you prepare curd in home? Will you prepare, na? Yes. How? Huh. So yes. So what you will do in first step? First step, you will boil the milk. Okay. Madam first boil the milk. Okay. What madam doing? Madam doing sterilization. So when we boil the milk, whatever the milk, they will die. Okay. So that milk is free from the microbes. Okay. After that, what are you doing, ma'am? After that, what you will do? You add some uh, previous curd. Okay. Immediately you add or you wait for some time. Wait for some time. So madam will wait for some time. The temperature will come to around 3740. Okay. Immediately if she add, the milk is very boil, very heat, that conditions, immediately she add that microwave, that previous curd, it will die. So that's why madam will wait for uh, 10 to 15 minutes, so the temperature will come to up to now kilo. You add as a starting culture or micro curd, previous curd. Okay. Then what you will do, man? Keep aside a overnight period. Okay. You keep in refrigerator or in at room temperature? In room temperature. See, madam doing incubation. Okay. So room temperature is 37, 35 to 37. Okay. So at this 35 to 37, bacteria is has a favorable condition to multiply. Okay. So after 24 hours, so it will generate huge population and it form it coagulation, and you see that code formation. Okay. So now you are a microbiologist. So not only ma'am. Okay. Everyone is microbiologist. Whatever your subject background, chemistry or Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, homeopathy, whatever your micro background, but basically you are a microbiologist. Okay. See, after birth, immediately you get a shot of BCG. Do you know why you're getting BCG? To fight this TB, mycobacterium. Okay. And you also take polio vaccine. Okay. To fight polio virus. Okay. So we all basically deal microbes with care, attention, and very serious aspects. Okay. In our lab, if you got any injury, so you immediately go and take TT. Why you take TT? You don't have knowledge beside the TT, but you take the TT. TT is a tetanus toxide. Okay. When you playing in ground also, if you fell down, you will get an injury. Then also you get a TT shot, because that soil may contain Clostridium tetani bacteria. Clostridium tetanus bacteria. So this bacteria will release toxides. Okay, very lethal toxides. Okay. Tetanus means your body will bend into the backside like this. Dhanurvatam. You see that the Dhanus. uh, so that is a disease condition. Okay. To prevent that disease conditions, you take immediately TT. Okay. There is an antidote for the tetanus toxide. Okay. So basically, we don't know, we don't have microbiology background, but in from morning onwards and up to sleep, every moment we deal with the microbes. Okay, so you have, everyone have a separate glasses. Okay, why don't have only single glass? We don't have to dare to drink single glass. Okay, we don't know others have any other diseases or he has some problem, health problem, so we didn't take that glass. Okay, so in each point of view, before eating also we wash our hands. The background is microbes. Okay, so this is a just a basic concept of the microbiology. Okay, so you may see these news clips. Okay, one ICMR is the NIN, National Institute of Nutrition. It is based on Hyderabad. They conducted a study. They collected the samples from the herbal samples, this herbal medicine sample from their outlets, and they did the analysis, and they found that most of the samples are contaminated with microbes. They also found some pathogens also, like Salmonella, Staphylococcus also. Okay, and when we see this study, anyone who dare to buy this, take this herbal medicines? No. Generally, we take the medicines to cure. Okay, no one will ready to take this pathogenic herbal medicines to cure. Okay, so that's why the herbal medicines, whatever we are taking, mostly free from the pathogens. Then only the market will be increased, the trade will be increased, everyone will believe in these medicines, herbal medicines. Okay, see some products also you recently seen in Bhopal, in somewhere some syrups are contaminated with bacteria, E. coli. Okay, they recall the entire batch. Okay, you see this picture. So how we the previous one is pre COVID, and after is post COVID. Okay, so we know how the COVID affect our lives. Okay, what are the difficulties we faced during COVID? Okay, and the COVID also given a lesson for us. Okay, so now peoples are very aware about their health. Okay, if someone is sneezing, someone is coughing, so they are going side. Okay, he maybe has some contaminated issues, so better to avoid them. Yes or not? Yes, even in public places also, even metros also, someone will wear the mask. Okay, now also we are seeing wearing mask. Before COVID, who wear the mask in public? No. Even illiterate peoples also don't know what mask. But now they also know, when they will travel in a public transport, they will wear the mask. So this is the awareness created by. So this is the awareness created by a COVID. Okay, COVID is a virus, coronavirus. Okay, a tiny particle. Okay, we can't see with our naked eye. So how make it destroy our entire world? Okay, so this is a one example how microbes will affect our lives. So dealing with microbes. So from brushing. So without brushing, you just imagine our lives. Okay, anybody will every minute we deal with the microbes. Okay, even you keeping your hands on your table, you just see and it is okay, it is neat or not. If it is a dirty, you can't dare to keep your hands on the table. Okay, so dealing of the microbes also very important. So now anyone can say this difference between these two packets, these two packets, tetra pack, and this one is a polythene bag. What is the difference? Okay, sir. Any other difference is there? Yes, yes, preservation time. See, that polythene package is a, you can see, you can read on that package, pasteurized milk. They written pasteurized milk. Okay. When you read on this table, on this label, Tetra Pak label, ultra heat, ultra sterilized milk, they've written. Okay. Pasteurization. What is pasteurization? You know, Louis Pasteur. Okay. So pasteurization means what they will do at 63 degrees centigrade, they just eat for 5 to 6 seconds. Okay. This is a pasteurization. Okay. This pasteurization temperature will completely not eliminate the pathogens. Okay. Not destroy the pathogens. Some bacteria produce spores, like a bacillus, they spores endospores. Okay. They may survive, they may regenerate after favorable conditions after 2 to 3 days. Okay. That's why you see after 3 to 4 days of this packaged milk, it's a clot formation is there and not too ready to consume and become as bad odor. Okay. So the shelf life is only 3 to 4 days. Okay. Coming to this Tetra Pak, they sterilize at 140 degrees centigrades. Okay. They sterilize at 140 degrees centigrades. At that temperature, all microbes will be dead, including spore forming bacteria also. So that's why even room temperature also, even outside also we keep for 1 year. Some may claim 24 months also, 2 years also. Okay. So that is a difference. But you see, once you open this Tetra Pak, you have to consume immediately. Okay. Once you open, this is whatever the aerobic flora, they again they enter into the pack and they may contaminate it. So that's why after opening, immediately consume. So that is the difference between the pasteurization and sterilization. Why I'm saying this slide here means, can we expect this type of sterilized product in our herbal medicines? Can we accept? Can we have this sterilized herbal medicines? Any products? Huh. Huh. We don't have any sterilized products. Okay. Why we don't have sterilized products? Because when we do sterilization, whatever the active components, active chemical component, they will destroy. Okay. Whatever the flavonoid, terpenoids, whatever the active components, they will destroy at high temperatures. So there is no efficacy. So that's why we don't have sterilized products in our herbal medicine. But in allopathic, no, almost they are sterilized products they will use. But in herbal medicines, we don't have sterilized products. Due to this reason, the main concept is active ingredients. When the active ingredients are destroyed, so there is no efficacy. But we have to at least try to eliminate the pathogens. We have to try at least to eliminate the pathogens to maintaining some. Okay, I will send next one. And now this, you see this slide. What is this? A yogurt. You consume, no? You take, no? Okay. You just read carefully that label. It contains a pathogen. It contains a microbes. Okay. Active lactobacillus delrucki. Okay. Bacillus uh, streptococcus thermophilus. Okay. Now I said don't take microbes. Now I am saying take microbes. It's a good bacteria. Okay. So it helps in synthesis of B12. Okay. It has many reports. Okay. When you take antibiotics, okay, doctor also prescribe lactic acids on that capsules. Okay. So why he capsule? So when you take antibiotics, your good health, good bacteria also will die due to that antibiotic consumption. That's why he give additional bacteria, good bacteria to your gut. Okay. So even microbes not only harmful, they're beneficial also. Okay. Crores of uh, this export or this income generation due to these microbes. Okay, see in COVID period, in first starting period, that PCR test costs around 15,000, 10,000. Now it is 500 rupees. Even some government they do free PCR test. In that PCR, one enzyme is very essential. That is Taq polymerase. Polymerase. What this enzyme will do, they takes only one single DNA, so that DNA will multiply into so many copies. Okay, for this multiplication, they have a machine, PCR machine. Okay, that means that machine go maintain at different temperatures, 50, 70 to 94. So that temperature also, that enzyme is survived. Taq polymerase. This Taq polymerase is isolated from the bacteria. Without this Taq polymerase, no PCR. Okay, so this is the useful of the microbes also, not only harmful. Even you see yogurt, curd, different types of fermented products due to this microbes. Okay, what is the importance of microbiology? Okay, now you understand, now you get the basic concept of the microbiology. So this, coming to this natural medicines. Okay, see, most of the 70% herbal medicines are from the raw material, plant origin. 70% are plant origin. Okay, so this where they are collected, this source material, raw material. Okay, fields, who is growing in commercially? Anyone see commercial cultivation of this herbal medicines, medicinal plants? Herbal gardens, how many quantity you supply? Natural sources, forest areas. Natural sources, forest areas. See, we grow commercial crops like jowar, rice, paddy. Okay, how much care will take? Okay, that farmer entire day he spend on their fields only. If he see any pest, he immediately uh, do action. Daily give irrigation, weedicides, pesticides. Okay, coming to this herbal plants, medicinal plants, this much take care take they take? No, even they don't know the passport data from where they collected, from which fields this raw material has collected. Okay, they collect from the Himalayas, they send to the Kerala. They collect from the Kerala, then they send to the north. So there is no passport data from where they collected and which fields, from which fields they have collected. Okay, source authentication is also very important. Okay, if they cultivated in an industrial area, there is a chance of contamination with the effluents of these heavy metals, pesticide residues. Okay, in roadsides also somewhere we'll see pond. Okay, so the cultivation is also very very important. Okay, you see good agriculture practices. So you see organic mangoes now is very famous. So what is the cost of organic mangoes? 500 kg, 1000 rupees per kg also. Who will buy 1000 rupees per kg? In market they get 100 rupees per kg, but still buying. Still there is a market, separate market for these organic products. Even the 1000 rupees also. Even rice also, everything, vegetables also, they have a high demand. Organic cultivation. Okay. What they will do in organic cultivation? So in organic cultivation, they don't use any pesticides, okay, any weedicides. They use only biofertilizers, cow dung, okay. So in a natural method, they will cultivate, okay. And not only immediately 1 year, okay, they do, they will not sell. No, they have to continue at least 3 years. After 3 years only, the fields are turns into the organic way. Then they consider as a organic product. There is a separate certification system is there. Ministry of Agriculture, they give some organic product certification system also. Okay. So why I'm saying this? Can we expect this organic herbal medicines. Okay. Yes. Now few industries coming forward to make agreements with the farmers. Okay. You supply this quantity of raw material without heavy metals, pesticide residues, and microbial contamination. You supply this much of quantity, we will pay at this much rate. They're making the agreement with farmers. Now, anybody from industry also is there, no? From Dabur also is there. Yes, no, sir. What I'm saying is correct. Yes. So we have to encourage the organic farming also. Okay. So it is a incomeably, and the farmer also will get income, and our product quality also very good. Okay. Next, good harvesting practices. Harvesting, how they collecting the uh, material from the field, and how they are exporting from one area to another area. Okay. At what condition they are transporting. Okay. Whether the maintaining relative humidity, temperatures. Okay. Next, good manufacturing practices. Okay. After agriculture practices, good agriculture practices, good harvesting practices, good manufacturing practices. Whether the industries are following good manufacturing practices, whether the industries are when they're receiving this raw material, they're cleaning with the potable water, then they're processing as per the GMP schedules. Okay. And this is also very important in the quality aspects. And the last one is good laboratory practice. Okay. So as a microbiologist, I received a sample for testing. Okay. So what I did, sample I received for testing. Okay. So in our microbiology, we use a media as a nutrition source for the growth of the bacteria. Okay. So this is a sample. I take 1 ml of the sample and I pour on media. Okay. So in each experiment, even in chemistry also, they keep this one control without sample. So in our microbiology also, we keep one control without sample, one plate. Okay. And keep in an incubation. Okay. And after 24 hours, I seen the growth on control plate also. No sample. I did not take sample on control plate, but I get the microbial load on control plate also. Now what have to write the results? Whether this sample contain microbes or not. When we don't have good laboratory practices, when we don't have follow the good laboratory practices, how our reports are genuine. Okay. So this is a good laboratory practice is also very important in this quality of herbal medicines. Okay. These are the basic instruments required for the microbiology lab. Okay. Autoclave, pressure cooker. In a house, we use pressure cooker, steam under pressure. So same principle is autoclave. We use for sterilization purpose. Okay. Hot air oven. This is also used for sterilization purpose. For drying raw materials also we use. Okay. Then biosafety cabinets. Okay. So here biosafety cabinets or laminar airflows. These are the important instruments in the microbiology lab. Okay. So based on the severity of pathogens, we use uh, different types of biosafety cabinets. Okay. You know now biosafety levels. You know biosafety levels. Okay. So based on the severity of the pathogens, there are 4 levels of biosafeties. Okay. Biosafety level 1. Okay. Now madam has done prepared a curd. Okay. She dealt with a lactic acid bacteria. Okay. It is not a harmful bacteria. Okay. So she perform in her kitchen only. She don't need any specific instruments, specific requirements for performing the test. So that bacteria comes under BSL 1. They call as a BSL 1 pathogens. Okay. Coming to BSL 2 pathogens. BSL 2 pathogens, they are pathogens harmful to health, but we have sufficient medicines. We have sufficient antibiotics to prevent that pathogens. like diarrhea, E. coli. Okay, when you got diarrhea, you have a sufficient treatment. When we have this cholera, also we have a sufficient treatment. Okay, these pathogens called BSL2 pathogens: E. coli, Salmonella, Vibrio cholera, okay, and Staphylococcus aureus, Pseudomonas aeruginosa. These pathogens comes under BSL2 level. Okay, accordingly, your lab has to set BSL2. Coming to this herbal medicines, whatever the pathogens we are dealing, as per our pharmacopoeia, they comes under BSL2. BSL2 pathogen. So our lab should be also as per BSL2. Okay. Coming to BSL3, they are the severe pathogens. Okay, they have a higher chance of contaminations. Okay, they need some specific facilities. Okay, so these pathogens called BSL3 pathogens. Okay, so like TB, they have a higher chance of contamination. Okay, good morning. Okay, next, fourth level is BSL4. This is a very most contamination. Okay, like Ebola, recently flagging Ebola. We don't have any sufficient medicine. Okay, we don't know how to control it. Okay, even Corona also, coronavirus also, it also comes under 4 only. We don't have sufficient medicine for that one, even though we're using some, of course we are developed a vaccine, but it also comes under BSL4 pathogen. This is very severe. We don't have any treatment for that one. They consider under BSL4. Okay, so based on this severity level, 4 types of uh, pathogens we have to do. So accordingly, our biosafety cabinet also we have to procure. Okay. Next, microscope, to observe the growth, that's morphology of the bacteria, we have to use this microscope. This incubator, rotary shaker, these are the common instruments. Next, sample preparation. Okay. So in sample preparation, in herbal medicine, there are different types of products are there based on their nature. Okay, some products easily soluble in water. There are some viscous in nature. There are some fatty acid in nature, fatty in nature. So in that we need to do some pre-treatment to easily dissolve these samples. Okay. So if it is a water soluble products, you just take 1 gram in 100 ml or 10 grams in 100 ml. So then it is will easily dissolve. Or peptone broth also you can use. Then it is a non-fatty insoluble water. You just add a polysorbate 20. Then it is the polysorbate 20 is a surfactant, so it will reduce the surface of the sample. Then it make to easily soluble in the peptone broth or sterile water. Next, in fatty products also add polysorbate 20 and just eat at 40 degrees centigrade. Then the sample will easily soluble. Okay. Based on the nature of the sample, we will make the treatment for the sample preparation. Next, method suitability test. Okay. So method suitability test. Okay. So I received this sample for testing. Okay. So as per pharmacopoeia, I have to check the whether what is the load of microbial load of this sample. Okay. Before performing the test, first I will perform method suitability test. In that method suitability test, what I will do, I have a specific reference cultures like E. coli, Salmonella, Staphylococcus, Pseudomonas. I have a specific reference cultures. I will add a specific reference cultures to this sample which come from testing. Okay. Then I will take 1 ml of this sample and I will streak on a specific media. For E. coli, I have a EMB media, Pseudomonas citromata media. If this plates show growth, okay, this sample which came for the testing, it is free from the antimicrobial agents, okay, or any inhibitory agents, microbial inhibitory agents. Then I will go for microbial testing. Okay. Some manufacturers may add some preservatives, some may add antimicrobial agents. So I didn't get any morphology, any growth on these plates. okay, due to this antimicrobial agents. So then I will add some neutralizing methods. So then I will again go for the testing. Next, growth promotion test. Okay. So before doing testing, I have to check every point. Okay. In growth promotion test, what I will do first, I will check the media condition. We will use media as a nutritional source for the growth of the microbes. Okay. Whether this media suitable for the growth of the bacteria or not. Okay. If I taken this sample, okay, and I added 1 ml of the sample on this media, it will not show any growth of the microbes. What I have to give the reports? This media maybe contain inhibitory agents, so they give the false report. That's why before that I have to confirm whether whatever the media I'm using, it's promoting the growth of the microbes or not. Okay, it's called growth promotion test. Next, negative control, positive controls. Okay. uh, Next, culture media. These are the culture medias. Okay. So based on the nature of the media, we use different types applications. Okay. Solid media. Okay. Solid media means we have to add the agar agar. It is a solidifying agent to media. Okay. So when we take the plate, so it is a solidified. Then it is easy to see the morphology. Some bacteria give the round colonies. Some bacteria give the plant like colonies. Okay. For morphology, semi-solid media. For semi-solid media, so bacteria has a motility. Okay, if the bacteria is a motile or non-motile, to check that motility, we use a semi-solid media. Broth, next liquid media. Liquid media means without agar agar, like this only. Okay, this media we use for the biochemical test and some multiplication or cultivation of the bacteria. We use semi-solid media. Okay. So these are the basic medias used for the testing of herbal medicines. Okay. For MLT, microbial limit test, buffered sodium chloride, casein soybean diastagar, and saboru dextrozagar. For specific pathogens, E. coli, Salmonella, Pseudomonas aeruginosa, Staphylococcus aureus. So these are the medias we use for the testing of herbal medicines. Microbial limit test. Okay. In as per pharmacopoeia, we have to do two tests. One is qualitative and another one is quantitative. Okay. In qualitative test, we have to check any pathogens are presence or absence. In quantitative test, we have to check what is the total aerobic microbial count, what is the total yeast and mold count. Okay, two tests under MLT, qualitative and quantitative. Okay, so quantitative, there are different methods are there. Membrane filtration methods there. Most probable number method is there. Total plate count method. Three methods are there. Okay, we mostly use this total plate count method. This is a membrane filtration method. Okay, so in membrane filtration method, we have to use the filters 0.45 microns filter size. Okay, so this sample and pass through the filters. Okay, this filters trap the bacteria. Okay, bacteria size is less than 0.45, so the filters will trap the bacteria. Then the filter will place on the media plates. Then after incubation, you see the growth of the bacteria. So accordingly, you can calculate how much bacteria the sample contains. Next, plate count method. Okay, we mostly use plate count method. Plate count method is two types: pour plate method, spread plate method. Okay, pour plate method. Pour. Okay, this is a sterile Petri plate. Okay, we take a 1 ml of the sample. Okay, then we pour the media. Then we stir it and we keep aside for incubation. In spread plate method, first time only we pour. Right. After solidified, we take 0.1 ml of the 0.1 ml of the sample and we spread it. It's a spread method. Okay. So based on the application, we can take spread plate method or pour plate method. Next, most probable number method. It is a statistical method. Okay. we have to get the results immediately, then we can use this statistical. This method will not give a clear picture, but it's a most probable, maybe 1,000, maybe 10,000 population in this sample. Okay, it's a statistical method, the most probable number method. Next, yeast and mold, fungus. Okay, same method. The media is changed. We have used this saburo dextrozaga with an antibiotic. Okay, temperature is 25. Bacteria is 35 to 37. For yeast and mold, the temperature is, we have to keep in 25 degrees centigrade. So, for example, I have received a sample and I have done serial dilution method. Okay, then I pour on plates. One dilution, 10 to the power of 1 dilution. Okay, you know serial dilution, no? Serial dilution. See, I directly take the sample, I will transfer into this plate, but it is very difficult to count the colonies. Okay, this sample may get huge number of colonies. Anyone can count these colonies? No, it's a very huge, too humorous to count. Okay, so that's why we go for serial dilution method. Okay, next, 10 to the power of 1 dilution. In each experiment, I will take duplicate plates. Okay, you see, same plates have the same number of colonies. Then 10 to the power of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 7, 6. Okay, so I will count this 10 to the power of 6. This is a countable colonies, so I will count it. Okay, then I get the 60 colonies in 10 to the power of 2 dilution. Okay, so I got 6 into 10 to the power of 4 colony forming units in this sample. 10 to the power of 6 into 10 to the power of 4 colony forming units in this sample. Now you say whether this sample is standard sample or substandard. It is okay. This sample is standard sample or substandard sample.
Sir, can we go to the back slide? Previous slide.
Sir.
Please explain it again.
Sir, these are the dilution plates. Okay. So I have performed serial dilutions. Okay. Serial dilution, what I will take? I will take a sterile test tubes. Each test tube has a 9 ml of sterile peptone or sterile water. Okay. Each test tube. I will take 1 ml of the sample. This is a sample for testing. I take 1 ml of the sample and I will transfer this 1 ml into first test tube. So how many times I'm diluting? 10 times I'm diluting. 10 to the power of 1. Next, from first test tube, 1 ml I take and I transfer to into the second tube. So 100 times, 10 to the power of 2, like that. 1,000 times, 10,000, 1 lakh times. I'm diluting. Okay. Same 1 dilution, 10 to the power of 1 dilution, this many colonies I get. 10 to the power of 2 dilution, this many bacteria I get. 4, 5, 6 dilution, this many bacteria I get. Okay. Now there is a formula is there to counting the total colony form units in this sample. Okay. Now I get 60 colonies in 10 to the power of 2 dilution. Okay. That count is 6 into 10 to the power of 4. Now you say this bacteria is passed the test or it is failed. I get 6 into 10 to the power of 4 means 60,000. 60,000. Okay. 60,000 bacteria is in this sample. Okay. For this, I have to go to refer our pharmacopoeia. What our pharmacopoeia is saying, what are the limits they are given in our pharmacopoeia. See, these are the limits in our pharmacopoeia. These limits are common for Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, and homeopathy. Okay. You see, total aerobic plate count, herbal extracts and powder, finished products, 10 to the power of 5. 10 to the power of 5 means 1 lakh. So I get 60,000. So within the limit. So this sample is a standard sample. Okay. So in the first slide only, I said, due to the nature of the raw material, we can't expect the sterile products. Okay. That's why in our herbal medicines, they give any limits. Okay. This much limits, okay, for the consumption. Okay. So for the yeast and mold, 10 to the power of 3, 1,000, less than 1,000 only, it passed the test. If it is more than 1,000, it is a fail. Okay. and the options of these 4 specific pathogens: Staphylococcus, Pseudomonas, Echerichia, and Salmonella.
Sir,
Yes.
uh, yeah.
Yes.
This is applicable for all the Siddha Unani also?
Yes. Yes.
Even for Ayurvedic?
Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani.
Okay.
In pharmacopoeia,
Except
just refer.
homeo, I don't think.
See,
it's-
homeopathy, raw materials, it is okay.
Okay.
But there is some finished dosage forms like mother tinctures and other. There is a other criteria is there, limits. Okay. For Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, same.
So do you have that criteria at present?
Sir.
No, no. Do you
In our
have that
pharmacopoeia, we have.
No, do you
In
have
homeo
it
is there,
in
sir?
the slide? Just to
Sir,
show it.
So I can't understand it.
These no sir, I'm saying that this criteria is for Ayurveda, Unani, and Siddha.
Yes.
Do you have a slide for the criteria to be used in homeopathy?
Homeopathy also will next will come.
Yes.
I will take separate.
Okay, sir.
okay.
Okay. Why only 4 these pathogens? There are so many pathogens, more than 100 pathogens are there, severe pathogens are there. Why you only taken with 4 pathogens? Any idea? So you heard about AMR, antimicrobial resistance. Okay. So these 4 pathogens also included in this AMR. Okay. You just remember this escape pathogen. These are the AMR pathogens. Okay. AMR is a very widely threatened to human beings. Okay. According to WHO, 20 billions of death due to this AMR, antimicrobial resistance. Okay. You know how this AMR will develop? See, inaccurate use of medicines. Okay. I am suffering with cold. I have already azithromycin previously I used. I have. That's why I'm saying, sir. I'm suffering with cold. Okay. I have azithromycin where I previously purchased. So why I have not used this azithromycin? I take an azithromycin. Where I am suffering with cold, azithromycin is no more effective because cold is due to the viral. Virus don't have the cell wall. This bacteria antibiotics will not effective. Okay. And we consume this meat or poultry products where they also will not will not heat properly. So that is also reason to transfer the antimicrobial resistancy. Okay. And the human to human also. Okay. Human to human also. You observe this in ICUs, the mostly restricted entry of the visitors in ICUs because the condition is very serious. If you have any antimicrobial resistancy in your surface areas, any areas, you going to meet a ICU patient, there is a chance of transfer of this antimicrobial resistance to that person, and that person is not able to respond to the antibiotics. So his condition will become more serious. Okay. So there are various reasons for antimicrobial resistance. So these 4 pathogens also comes under this AMR. Okay. And other pharmacopoeias also give this pathogens. These are WHO limits. You see, same 10 to the power of 5 and 10 to the power of 3, and they are given some extra Shigella and Clostridia also. These are the WHO limits. And this is European pharmacopoeia and British pharmacopoeia limits. So here also same they have mentioned, almost same to our API, SPA, and Unani pharmacopoeia. These are the IP Indian pharmacopoeia. These are the USP. In USP they treat as a botanicals, okay, not herbal. So they are treat as a botanical. They are also given same, almost similar. In Brazilian, so they treat as a vegetables or herbal medicines. In Japanese also similar. And these are Australian regulations. And we have compared this limits, aerobic microbial count and yeast and mold, and a specific pathogens criteria among with different pharmacopoeias. So these are the comparison sheet. And we also published this work in Springer Nature. we have compared almost 14 pharmacopoeias. 14 pharmacopoeias we compared. Okay. And test for specific pathogens. So E. coli. So E. coli is a gram-negative bacteria. Mostly this diarrhea due to this E. coli. In E. coli, we have a 3 tests: presentive, completer, and confirmation test. Okay. In the first, we have what we will do. This is we take a McConkey broth. Okay. So in McConkey broth, we sample transfer this sample which came for testing 1 ml to this McConkey broth. McConkey broth is this violet color. If it is a lactic acid bacteria, E. coli is a lactic acid producing bacteria, so it turns into the yellow. And you see the Durant tube we have inserted in the inverted positions, it forming bubbles formation. E. coli is a indole producing bacteria. Okay, when we add Covax reagent, it will form a brick red ring. Okay, so we can confirm almost 50% we confirm this sample may contain E. coli. Okay, then after that we take a one loop from this sample and we streak on a McConkey agar, so it will give a brick red colonies. So we can confirm 70% this sample may contain E. coli. Not only 70. Why I'm saying 70? Some other bacteria also gives similar appearance. That's why I'm saying only 70%. After that, I will take a one colony from this plate and I will transfer into EMB agar, eosin methylene blue agar. Okay. You see green malacan sheen. Okay. Now I will confirm 100% it is a E. coli in our sample. Later that I will do some gram staining test, some biochemical test. Then I will write a report. This sample may contain Escherichia coli. Okay. Next, Salmonella. Salmonella is also gram-negative bacteria. So you mostly hear typhoid fever. So due to this Salmonella, this Salmonella is also gram-negative bacteria, and this test also we use at least 2 medias. Okay. Bismuth sulfate agar or XLDA agar. At least 2 means in each test we have to use at least 2 medias. Any specific medias, 2 medias. Okay. In XLDA we get a black colonies, and BGA, bismuth green agar, we get a white mucoid colonies. Okay. Secondary test. Okay. On triple sugar iron test. Okay. You just see the red one is a control. If the sample has a salmonella, so it turns into the black colony, entire black, because due to hydrogen cyanide production. Okay. Next, Pseudomonas aeruginosa. This Pseudomonas aeruginosa is also gram-negative bacteria. So it mostly opportunistic pathogen in hospitals. Okay. So in this Pseudomonas aeruginosa, so when you streak on a citramide agar, it have a fluorescence. If you keep under UV light, it give a fluorescence. Okay, it's called Pseudomonas aeruginosa. For further confirmation, we use oxidase test and catalase test. Okay, 5 minutes. Catalase test. You know catalase test? Catalase. Catalase. So we are all catalase, positive or negative? We all are. We all are catalase positive or negative? Positive. Yes. See, when you got injured on your skin, you pour hydrogen peroxide, immediately you see bubbles. Okay. Bubbles. H2O2 react with the superoxide dismutase and it will release the bubbles. It is an indication of catalase. Okay. Okay. So this catalase also, this is a aerobic. You are aerobics. Even Pseudomonas aeruginosa is also aerobic. Okay. Aerobic bacteria, different categories are there. Aerobic bacteria, anaerobic bacteria. Okay. So pathogenic bacteria, non-pathogenic bacteria. Next, Staphylococcus aureus. Okay. Staphylococcus aureus is a gram-positive bacteria. Okay. Mostly skin infections. Okay. If you see pus-forming bacteria, if you see the pus formation on your skin, is due to the Staphylococcus aureus. Okay. And you see in mannitol salt agar, Okay, it's a controlled red one. If it is a Staphylococcus aureus, it completely turns into the yellow. Okay. Next, Bispat.
Sir,
Yes, yes.
the Pseudomonas bacteria. So that what kind of illness does it cause in human body?
What?
Pseudomonas
Hmm.
bacteria.
Huh.
So what kind of illness does it cause in the
No,
human body?
Pseudomonas aeruginosa it has a this respiratory,
Okay.
mostly respiratory. Okay.
So
Is a-
AMR, but if AMR happens because of that Pseudomonas bacteria,
Yes.
so but matlab, lung diseases or respiratory disease we
Yes, respiratory, mainly respiratory. Okay. Next, coagulase positive. Okay. This Staphylococcus is a coagulase positive. Okay. Coagulase positive means we take the plasma. When we add this Staphylococcus, it forms the coagulation. You see the control and the positives. Okay, it's forming coagulase. So I confirm 100% the sample may contain Staphylococcus aureus. Okay. Next, homeopathic medicines. Okay. Anyone in homeopathy background? Okay, sir. Okay. Majority is there, 4 members. Is there is need of the microbial testing for homeopathic medicines? Is there need? Because mostly you will say these homeopathic medicines are prepared from the alcohol nature, so no need go for the microbial testing. Is a common 4 hours. 4 hours we have to keep in incubator at 37 degrees centigrade. After 4 hours, the coagulation forms will be dense. Huh. See, in our body also we have the plasma. Similar plasma, it will be coagulated. If it is coagulated, it is a Staphylococcus aureus. So not only all mother tinctures prepared with the 90%. Okay, some mother tinctures have the 40% also. Okay, at what concentrate of alcohol is mostly effective microbially on microbes? 90% alcohol or 45% or 70%? 70%. Okay, if you use 90% alcohol or 100% alcohol, it is immediately evaporated. There is no time for action on the cell wall of the bacteria. If you use 70%, there is a sufficient time to damage the bacterial cell. Okay, that's why they must prefer 70% alcohol. Okay. So in sterility we do for homeopathy drugs. In homeopathy, there are 2 kinds of drugs are there, ophthalmic and nosodes. But this 2 kind of drugs we use, we have to do sterility test. Okay. One is ophthalmic solutions, one is nosodes. Okay. Same growth promotion medias, we have to use the different media. Okay. And these are the quantity of the samples for the testing. These are the list of nosodes published in Homeopathy Pharmacopoeia of India. Are you aware about the nosodes? So homeopathy backgrounds. Anyone is producing nosodes? Any industry now producing? Any industry manufacturing nosodes? See, nosodes, it's a terminology. We can similarly compare to the vaccines. Okay. So in nosodes, what we'll do? Tuberculinum is a nosode. Okay, it is available in market also. Mostly people using also. How they will prepare? If the person is suffering with their TB, they collect their sputum. Okay, they will isolate this Mycobacterium tuberculosis, and they will enrich the Mycobacterium tuberculosis, and they will kill the Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Then they will make the dilutions. Okay, in homeopathy mostly dilutions. So that is a 5 minutes. So then they call as a nosodes. Okay, but as per my knowledge, no single industry now producing the nosodes. Okay, these are the standards for the syrups. Whatever I have to take syrups consumption, these are the standards in HPI. Okay, these are the standards for the ophthalmic solutions. Next, preservation. So whatever the reference cultures we'll use, we have to preserve them properly. It is a fumigation machine. So in microbiology, the most toughest problem is contamination, cross contamination. So now I said like good laboratory practices. One example I said. So to prevent this, we have to fumigate every week. Okay. Then after we do every Friday evening, we'll do fumigation, and on every Monday we check the bioburden of the lab. If it is within the limit, we'll go for the testing. If it is beyond the limit, we'll again do fumigation. It's a silver nitrate. Silver nitrate. It is available in market. Silver nitrate water we also there. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for your attention. Okay, we have practicals also. Afternoon, if you have any doubts, we will discuss in our lab also. Now, madam is waiting. Okay. Thank you.
हेलो हेलो एक्सक्यूज मी सर सर आशा वरिष्ठ के अंदर जो है हम फर्मेंटेशन करते हैं
सर
उसके अंदर ई कोइली वगैरह जो है वो टेस्ट होते हैं
हाँ सर सभी हेर्बल मेडिसिन
आफ्टर फर्मेंटेशन
आफ्टर फिनिश प्रोडक्ट आप पैकेज करते हैं ना उसको आशा वरिष्ठा को यू डू पैकेजिंग देन यू गो फॉर द टेस्टिंग बिफोर raw material also you do the testing now. Before going to preparation of the asa varishta, you have to confirm whether these raw materials are free from the E. coli or not.
सर आशा वरिष्ठ जब बनते हैं
सर
तो उसमें फर्मेंटेशन ही बनते हैं, उसके बाद सेल्फ जनरेटेड अल्कोहल प्रोड्यूस होता है.
सर those are the beneficial pathogens. Those are the beneficial, like a yeast, Saccharomyces. Okay, it is a fermentation.
तो उसमें तो ये फिर ई कोइली वगैरह ये तो नेगेटिव चाहिए अपने
हाँ.
को.
Saccharomyces we don't have bothered about Saccharomyces, only pathogens.
थैंक यू सर.
हेलो, थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच. जिन लोगों के डाउट्स हैं वो अभी जब हैंड्स ऑन ट्रेनिंग होगा लंच के बाद तब आप पूछ सकते हैं जो भी आपके डाउट्स हैं माइक्रोबायोलॉजी से संबंधित या फार्माकोलॉजी में. अब हमारे बीच डॉक्टर रचना पालीवाल मैडम उपस्थित हैं, तो मैं मैडम से और डॉक्टर एस सी वर्मा सर से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि दोनों लोग मंच पे आएं. टिट्टू Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. I will introduce about the madam. Madam is currently holding the post of Deputy Advisor Homeopathy in the Ministry of Ayush. She has previously served as Assistant Drug Controller Homeopathy in Central Drug Standard Control Organization. I hope this session will be informative, interactive, and enriching for everyone. The trainees from homeopathic background may ask their queries and doubts they have regarding regulatory aspects. As you were asking since last 2 days, ki sir,
So I have been working in this field since about 10 years in homeopathic medicine regulation, not only homeopathic medicine regulation, but also looking after Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani drugs regulations as well. So, as I always start with a gesture of thanking Pharmacopoeia Commission of Indian Medicine and Homeopathy, that they have this such a good enriching program of bringing in the various stakeholders of and from the pharmacy colleges, and these stakeholders come over here. We have a very good interaction between the center and the state, because this platform we do not get so often. You have so many queries working in your field, you some queries rise within you, but it stays there. You don't get a right platform to address the issues or to have a discussion. So whenever I go, I am also like very young in this field. So whatever queries I used to have, I used to solve and bring out. So we will have an interaction between us, and so that this platform which PSAMNASH is provided, we use it to the utmost capacity. That is why it is known as capacity building program. So thank you all for coming over here. Like to make it more, my presentation will be like on regulation, which is a very boring subject. So to bring it more fluid to it or more interesting, so I would like to know that who all are the participants, so that I can modify my lecture accordingly and give you the points which will be uh, helpful in your field. So usually I have, when we are sitting in a round table, I ask name and all. So right now I would like to know that how many of you are from homeopathy field. So please raise your hands. So okay, 5 of them. And how many of you are from testing side, working in drug testing laboratory or in manufacturing side? Manufacturing side, okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. And from regulator side, like drug inspector or so, 1. You are drug inspector where? Okay, so welcome. So we have one regulator, and from colleges, from homeopathic colleges or ASU colleges, anyone? 2 of you, madam. Okay. Okay. So, sir, you are from medical officers, are there? Medical officers from state? No? Acha. Okay. Yeah, they raised their hand. So, very warm welcome to all of you. So I will just run through my presentations, which will be more inclined towards the basic, provisions under Drugs and Cosmetic Act and rules. So you must be hearing Drugs and Cosmetic Act and rules so many times. Only 5 people are from homeopathy, but others also who are from different system, they also have to read this Drugs and Cosmetic Act and rules. So for them, it will be like a refresher. Adding to my presentation will be my second speaker, Dr. Vijay Garg, who is working in uh, Delhi department. So he will be enriching more regarding the work of the inspector and the misleading advertisements. So those who are not from homeopathy side, so for them, a brief introduction about homeopathy, because all of us are working ultimately in the Ayush sector. So we must know about each system which comes under Ayush. So homeopathy, like other system in Ayush, it is also a holistic system of medicine. So we treat the person, not the disease. And it is a individualized method of drug therapy. So it is not like one thing, one medicine will suit all for all, so-called disease name. So it is on the person or the individualized method of drug therapy. The principle in homeopathy is different from the other ASU system, because our principle is based on the similia similibus curenter, like cures like. So if a substance is able to produce the symptoms or that disease, then it will be able to cure that disease when it is occurring in the nature. So that is the basic principle, similia similibus curenter. So when we give a medicine, there is a initial step for testing of our homeopathic medicine. The basic concept is drug proving. We give the drug, it is now known as the drug to the healthy human beings. The symptoms which are produced in those healthy human beings are recorded in the form of materia medica. So this symptoms record is then matched with a person coming with the similar symptoms. If they are coming with the symptoms, they are elaborating their symptoms. These symptoms are matched between the drug and with the person, and then whichever is suitable is given. This drug is now known as the remedy for that person. So it overcomes the natural disease by producing an artificial disease when administered. So homeopathic medicines, like I said, it has the powers to producing similar artificial suffering in healthy human beings, which is recorded in drug proving. So sources of homeopathic medicines, like in other ASU systems also. So in homeopathy also we have different sources like the plants. Most of them are from plant sources, herbal in nature. Then we have animal sources, mineral sources, sarcodes and nosodes. This is something different in homeopathy. Sarcodes is the healthy tissue or the healthy secretions, and nosodes is the disease tissue or disease secretions. These are when processed through homeopathic principles or homeopathic pharmacy methods is converted into homeopathic medicines. Then imponderabilia is the energy sources like solar energy, lunar energy. So imponderabilia. Then potencies. Potencies is very important. In which scale it is being diluted. Like previous lecturer Dr. Ramesh was saying that dilution, serial dilution. In homeopathy, there is serial dilution. So in dilution is done in various methods. When it is diluted in the series of 1 by 10, then it is that decimal potency which is denoted as X. When it is done in a series of 100, centesimal potency which is denoted as C. And there is one more thing like 50 millisimal which is denoted as LM. So these are the potencies. If you are a consumer of homeopathic medicine also, those who are not from homeopathy side, whenever they are seeing a homeopathic medicine bottle, they must see that the entire name should be written on the bottle with a potency. So potency should be there. The mother solution or the mother tinctures, the base material is denoted as Q. Now the Ayush infrastructure as a whole, because you are working in this system, you must know that what is the scope of Ayush in India right now. So this is an Ayush infrastructure. Ministry of Ayush publishes a document called Ayush in India. So this Ayush in India was last is going to be published quite recently. The last published one was of Ayush in India 2023. So 2024 will be coming. This data is shows that the number of Ayush practitioners, how many are there, and in the bracket side I have written regarding the homeopathy. Total UG institutions for homeopathy it is 273 and total Ayush 960. Postgraduate institutions, annual intake in degree courses, annual intake in PG courses, hospitals in government sector, dispensaries in government sector, and those who are working in regulation, for them it is important the licensed drug manufacturing units. So total Ayush drug manufacturing unit is about 8,600. Out of them 362 is for homeopathy. So this is the Ayush infrastructure in India. This data is rapidly growing year on year. So it is a brief introduction to how our system is placed. Now, why regulations of drugs are needed? Okay. So for understanding that, like when our system is growing so much, obviously we need quality. We need quality education. We need quality medicines as well. So when we need quality, then comes the question of standard, and then comes the who will check these standards, how to regulate the practitioners, how to regulate the education system, how to regulate the drug approvals and the medicines which is coming in the market. So the regulations are needed because ultimately we are dealing with the public. Public safety is of prime importance. So we must have regulation or a check on the quality of the medicines which are being distributed amongst the public. So these regulations, what they prescribe or enforce standards. Like previously, in the previous presentation, we were talking about the standards, the limits. So these standards need to be enforced. It should not be just in the book. It should be enforced, means brought to practical use. Then how manufacturing will be done, that should be prescribed. There should be a clear-cut rules for how manufacturing is to be done, how distribution is to be done, how sale is to be done, how will be the marketing, what will be the testing protocols. And also it adds advertisement of drugs, because when we talk about patient safety, then we must also safeguard the patients or the public from misleading advertisement, so that they do not go for self medication. And if they so we have to also regulate the advertisement, so that the public is not being subjected to harm. Then we have to ensure availability of drugs of optimal quality, safety and efficacy. So whenever we talk about regulation, these are the three pillars, that is quality, safety and efficacy. You have to say everywhere regarding these three pillars, that is quality, safety and efficacy, whenever we are talking about drug regulation or drug standards. Then we have to promote the public protection from hazards or harmful effects of drugs. That's why we have the pharmacovigilance program.
Hello, I have one question. You are saying the quality and efficacy, right? What is the difference between efficacy and quality? Quality here.
Quality means the standards which are being followed, which are being prescribed, those standards are there. Standards will not say it is efficacious also.
But in allopathy, we understand that in modern medicine, quality means total, overall.
That is a broad term. Quality,
Right.
what you are talking
Overall,
is in a
considering
layman's term. In a layman's term, quality
considering-
will also incorporate
Quality
efficacy.
means considering all the parameters of the drugs. If it is passes, that means the quality product, right? Well, there is the in totality. Or
Yes.
efficacy is the biological activity, right?
Yes, sir.
And safety is the biological safety. So quality is overall.
Yes, sir.
Efficacy
So
plus
that's
safety
why I
is
said
quality.
in layman's term, quality will comprise of all these three things. But
Right.
whoever are working in this sector, they will recognize that what is quality, what is efficacy, and what is safety, and in whose domain it will come, so that it is clear. Okay. So efficacy efficacy will also be dependent on the clinical trials, and the clinicians who are working, they will not be looking after the quality. They will be looking after the efficacy more. Quality is a prerogative of the manufacturers and of the quality control personnel who is working, and safety is before that, before the drug is being tested on the human beings. So okay, so that is now what are drug regulations. Like I said, why regulations are needed. Now what are drug regulations? In the drug regulation, whenever you are dealing with drugs and cosmetic act and rules, if you don't recognize why it is important, then it will be a mere boring thing. So we have to understand how things are placed over there. So we have an act, drugs and cosmetic act. In the act, the various provisions are marked as sections, जो हिंदी में हम बोलते हैं धाराएं, धारा. तो धारा या सेक्शंस बोले जाते हैं एक्ट के अंदर जब लिखा जाता है. तो सेक्शन 33, सेक्शन 34, सेक्शन 8 जब भी बोला जाएगा कोई भी एक्ट में, इसका मतलब वो एक्ट की बातें हो रही है. दैट इज रेफरिंग टू द एक्ट. सो दैट cannot be modified so easily. You have to go to the parliament to make any amendment in the act. Whereas act में जो हमारा मूल हमारा ऑब्जेक्टिव है, जो एसेंस है, दैट विल बी, या जो हम करना चाहते हैं, आवर मेन विजन एंड ऑब्जेक्टिव विल बी एन्यूमरेटेड इन द एक्ट. अब इसको करना कैसे है, हाउ इट विल बी डन, विल बी इलेबोरेटेड अंडर द रूल्स. सो एक्ट इज फॉर्म्ड बिफोर हैंड and rules take time to form and it can be amended easily also. तो rules का जो amendment का part है वो ministries के पास रहता है. Okay, वो ministries ही उस rules में amend कर सकती है by prior consultation with the stakeholders. And when these rules are being made, after that they can lay in the parliament. I mean they have to lay in the parliament. But बनाते time उनको parliament नहीं जाना है. तो rules में जो है वो rule number 1, rule number 2 ऐसे करके है. रूल्स मेंशन है, वो नियमावली होती है. तो these are sections, I mean act में sections and जो rules होते हैं उसमें rule number होते हैं. So these in the drug regulation they prescribe how manufacturing, packing and labeling. Packing and labeling is very important because ultimately the end consumer है उसको अंदर क्या है वो नहीं समझ में आएगा. He will say the packing and labeling. Then sale and distribution, dissemination of the information, and post-marketing surveillance or monitoring of drugs, which is covered under the pharmacovigilance. And how in what matter requirement of commercial manufacturing of drugs can be fulfilled. For that, the good manufacturing practices and all are given, the guidelines are given. Then it prescribes, means ये सब तो बताया है कि what can be done. Now it also prescribes what cannot be done. Okay, and then it prescribes what cannot be done and you have done it, then what will be the penalty. Those are also prescribed under the act. Now it also defines that who will take care, means whose job is what, who will be the authority to give those penalties, or who will be the authority for testing, for lifting the samples, for going for prosecution. So these all means who all are empowered to enforce these laws. Those are also defined. And it is also defined that who will make the rules, who will amend the rules. So these all provisions are mentioned in the Drugs and Cosmetic Act and rules. So whenever you are going to such a program, in your interest, I would suggest or I would advise, because I have been dealing with Drugs and Cosmetic Act for so many years, but wherever I go, I take my book along with me. So you also buy, you also request your authority and get a latest copy of the book and always keep it with you. So these are the two Indian laws which are very important. The Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940 and Drugs and Magical Remedies Objectionable Advertisement Act 1994. So this Drugs and Cosmetic Act 1940 has come before independence, from the year you can see 1940. So come before independence. That time drug manufacturing was not there in India. Most of the drugs were imported. Okay, so first of all, they brought rules or the provisions for import of drugs. So whenever you will open the Drugs and Cosmetic Act and rules, you will see first the rules regarding import standards and how they will be, I mean the requirements for import are mentioned. Then there will be sale, then there will be manufacture. So like that the chapters are arranged. So Drugs and Cosmetic Act is a central act. The government has the power to bring this act and I mean make amendments in the act and rules. So central act to regulate the import. First is import, manufacture, distribution and sale of drugs and cosmetics through licensing. It also includes provisions for homeopathic drugs in India. So most of the people does not know that it is the single act which regulates all type of drugs in India, including the modern medicine, ASU medicines and this homeopathic medicines. So this is one slide in which I have summarized all the provisions which is related to homeopathic drugs under the Drugs and Cosmetic Act and rules. So these are the rule numbers and the section numbers where the homeopathic drugs are mentioned in the act and rules. So among that, in the act, homeopathic drugs is only mentioned under schedule, first schedule and the second schedule. In the first schedule, which has also been brought very recently, so last year only, so it is the recent amendment. The first schedule contains some authoritative literature of homeopathy. So any drug which is under these authoritative literature of homeopathy will not be considered as a new homeopathic medicine. Okay, so for them the licensing will be far more simpler. So this is the first schedule. Then we have a second schedule. Under the second schedules, it prescribes what standards homeopathic medicines will follow for import as well as for domestic manufacturing. So under the second schedule, we have recognized certain pharmacopoeia, like our homeopathic pharmacopoeia of India is there. Apart from that, we have also accepted certain pharmacopoeia of the Western world, like the European pharmacopoeia, French pharmacopoeia, British pharmacopoeia, US pharmacopoeia, and German pharmacopoeia. So these all are also recognized under the Drugs and Cosmetic Act, and the standards which are prescribed over there can also be followed. Apart from this, if standards are not mentioned, then any standard which the central government prescribes from time to time, that must be followed. So only two places homeopathic drugs are mentioned in the Act, first and second schedule. Now, how the regulatory framework is there? We have the central government, we have the state government. You are coming from the state side. Then we have the statutory bodies, for the Drugs and Cosmetic Act. The central government has the power to make the amendment under these drugs and cosmetic rules, and they have the power to give directions to the state. So if there is something which the state government is unable to understand or unable to enforce, then the central government will give directions to the states to achieve the objective under this act. Then on in the central side, we have the Pharmacopoeia Commission of Indian Medicine and Homeopathy, which is the testing and standard laying body. Then we have the Ayush vertical in CDSO, which is also a recent development. Like earlier, the state government was fully empowered, for the licensing as well as enforcement for Ayush drugs in India. There was no central enforcement. Like in allopathy drugs, we have CDSCO, the Central Drug Standard Control Organization. So similar type of body was not there for Ayush drugs. But we have formed a vertical, a wing of Ayush in the CDSCO. So we have drug inspectors over there who can do, they can't do a regular monitoring, but they do monitoring when there is a complaint or complaint from the public, or they find some risk, then they go for inspection. So it is a joint inspection kind of thing, that people from center as well as state will go and inspect the units or the sale premises. Then we have the state government. So state government is fully empowered under this act. So most of the work the state government only do. The state government officers, inspectors, the drug licensing authority, all powers are with the state. They only appoint the licensing authority, drug controller, and the drug inspectors. In the state also, we have the state drug testing laboratory. Okay, so they are doing the routine test for the state supply of drugs. Then they appoint government analyst in the state. Then we have two statutory bodies, the ASU DCC and the ASU DTAB. Like most of the people who are from state, they don't know that where this repeated queries or repeated problems they are facing regarding drug regulation, whom they can address this. So for that, we have a ASU DCC, that is Ayurveda Siddha Unani Drug Consultative Committee. So it is a consultative committee over where we have regulators, we have nominations or representative from each state. So the state licensing authority is represented in this committee. They can bring the problems in their state to this committee regarding drug regulation for Ayush drugs. Then we have the ASU DTAB. ASU DTAB is a drug technical advisory board. After ASU DCC has deliberated something and there's some technicality regarding the drug regulation, then it is referred to ASU DTAB. Final not given by ASU DTAB, then any amendment required in the drug rules is made by the central government.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
many allopathic medical stores, they are frequently selling our homeopathic medicines.
Yeah, I will come to that part
Okay.
when we discuss our Schedule K. So this is the first schedule of the DNC Act that I told. So this is the authoritative homeopathic literature which has been recently added. So under these, if any medicine is already mentioned under this, those ingredients will not be treated as new homeopathic medicine. Their license can be given by the state authority. Then we have the second schedule, like I said, this prescribe the standard HPI, then HPUS, UK, Germany was already there. French and European pharmacopoeia have been recently added last year. Then any other standard prescribed by the central government. Now we come to the drug rules part. Act is over. Homeopathic drugs are only mentioned in two places in the Act. Now we come to the drug rules. Under the drug rules, which is very important for homeopathic stakeholders, is the Rule 2DD. Whenever you are asked that where drugs and in the Drugs and Cosmetic Act and rules, where the definition of homeopathic medicine is, that is the Rule 2DD. So over here, there has been a recent amendment to this definition. So we have defined that any homeopathic medicine which is intended for internal or external use for treatment, mitigation, prevention of disease disorder in human beings and animals. Earlier, and animals terms was not there. So human beings and animals, so which has increased the scope of veterinary homeopathic medicines, which is recorded in homeopathic proving. So homeopathic provings is required, or the therapeutic efficacy which has been established through clinical experience or research. Research has been also added and used as described in homeopathy books specified in first and second schedule, manufactured in accordance to homeopathic pharmacy. This is also very important, that it should be manufactured according to homeopathic pharmacy. Like we have various ingredients which is common to all the streams, ASU streams and H, I mean ASU and H, we have various ingredients which is common to other streams as well. So these will be called a homeopathic medicine when it is prepared according to the homeopathic principle. Otherwise, the ingredient is same in Ayurveda also, here also. When we will say it is homeopathic, when it is being prepared or processed as per homeopathic principles and given as per homeopathic principles. Okay, so homeopathic pharmacy and covers combination of ingredients of such homeopathic drugs. So this is also very controversial. People say, who follow classical homeopathic medicine, they say that why combinations are there in market. So it is already there in the definition of homeopathic drugs while we talk of Drugs and Cosmetic Act and rules. So combinations are also allowed, combination of ingredients of such homeopathic drugs, but it does not include a drug which is administered by injectable route. So injections as such per se is not allowed in homeopathic system of medicine. Then we have a registered homeopathic medical practitioner definition. We also have a registered ASU practitioner definition. Then we have this homeopathic pharmacopoeia laboratory, which is the apex laboratory for homeopathic drug testing. It is described under Rule 3A, Sub Rule 7. Two very important things. Like I said, whenever we will run through the rules, first there will be import rules, then there will be sale rules, then there will be manufacturing rules. Okay, so first is the import rules. Import rules is mentioned under two heading for homeopathic medicine, 30AA and 32A. Under 30AA, the import criteria for homeopathic medicine, and especially the definition of new homeopathic medicine is given. This is very important. This new thing you will learn from here, because while you were reading in the pharmacy textbooks, old definitions are given. This new definition of new homeopathic medicine is given recently. Last year it has been amended. So what is a new homeopathic medicine? So new homeopathic medicine is any homeopathic medicine which is not specified in the standard books, like standard authoritative literature, or which is not mentioned in those pharmacopoeia which has been already recognized under the Act. So which are not in this pharmacopoeia, which is not recognized in homeopathic literature as efficacious under the conditions recommended, or a combination of homeopathic medicine which contains one or more ingredients which are not mentioned in these books. Fourth is recently added, that ingredients are mentioned in the books, but they are proposed to be combined for the first time in a fixed ratio. Okay, first time a combination of such ingredients in a fixed ratio is being developed, then it will be called a new homeopathic medicine, or already approved combination if their ratio is being changed, or if their claim is being changed, like it was already approved for sciatica or something, now you are bringing same combination with same potency or something, but with a new claim, then it will be also treated as a new homeopathic medicine. So this fourth number clause is recently added, and which is very important. So, and then there's a fifth clause, like a new homeopathic medicine shall continue to be considered as new homeopathic medicine for a period of 5 years from the date of its first approval. So this is a clause which has been added for the benefit of the manufacturers who want to go for R&D products. So like when they are investing so much in the bringing the product, and we find that someone is just copying those ingredients and getting the approval from the state. So to safeguard them, we have mentioned this clause that if you are coming to the central authority for first time approval of a new homeopathic medicine, then it will be called your right for first 5 years. If another manufacturer is coming with the same combination, same ingredient, then they also have to generate those data. They can't just show your license and get the approval. They also have to generate the data and satisfy the central licensing authority. So mark it that the new homeopathic medicine and the approval for import of homeopathic medicine is given by the central licensing authority, which is the Drug Controller General of India. For other type of licenses, like for existing drugs and existing ingredient approvals, are given by the state licensing authority. Now, what has also been added for ease of business and ease of the stakeholders is for the purpose of safety, therapeutic efficacy of medicine, including the minimum provings, how it is to be done, which guidelines to be followed. For that, we have opened the scope that they can follow the guidelines, whichever is being published by the Central Council for Research in Homeopathy. So whatever guidelines they are giving on the subject, those guidelines you can follow and do this and generate the data. So that was a very important topic, like the Rule 30A, import of new homeopathic medicine. Now, when a new homeopathic medicine, when a homeopathic medicine is being imported, what we have to check on the label and how the packaging should be, that is mentioned under the Rule 32A. Means whenever they are entering the India subcontinent, they have to follow the labeling and packaging provisions of India. So import overs, now we have the sale. Now it is imported. Now how sale will be done? So sale provisions is mentioned under Part 6A. The licensing power is with the state licensing authority only for homeopathic drugs. Application is made in the form 19B with a fees of rupees 2,000. This has been recently amended. Earlier it was 250. Last year it has been amended and it has been brought to 2,000. Now this 2,000 fees is one-time registration and lifetime validity. So it is perpetual license. You need not go for frequent renewal. So it is one-time registration only. The license is given in Form 20C for retail and Form 20D for wholesale. For fair and any promotional activities, you need not have a separate license. Now, Rule 67F is very important regarding sale license because it prescribes what qualifications are required for having a sale license for the competent person who will be granted a sale license. So this is very important for homeopathic drugs. Like many people don't know that they think that someone incompetent or who is not knowing any 10 pass candidate is sitting over there and making medicine. It is not so. Homeopathic sale regulation is elaborately given under drugs and drug rules, and under 67F we have explicit qualifications like a graduate in homeopathic medicine, or a graduate in pharmacy, or someone, a graduate with 1 year experience of working with a registered homeopathic practitioner, or with a license holder, sale license or wholesale license holder. If they have 1 year experience with them, then they can have a sale license, or diploma in homeopathic medicine, or diploma in pharmacy. So these all persons, these all qualifications are required for getting a sale license of homeopathic medicine. Then conditions of license, like how the premises should be, and it will be also you have to allow an inspector to inspect the premises at any point of time. The inspector who is inspecting will record his observation in Form 35, and you have to maintain, like most of the homeopathic medicines have alcohol. So this alcohol, sale and purchase of alcohol containing medicines, you have to maintain a record of it. So that was regarding sale, important points. Now we come to the manufacture. So manufacture of homeopathic medicine, elaborate provisions are mentioned, what all are required, how the application will be done, under which form you will get the license, what is the qualification of the person who will be the technical person in this manufacturing unit. So all these are prescribed under these rules of manufacture, that is under Part 7A. So the form in which you ask for a license is Form 24C. Then we have also opened a scope for loan license. Like if you don't want to have a full-fledged good manufacturing practices unit, I mean GMP unit for homeopathic medicine, but you want to have a license in your name for a single product, then you can have an agreement or you can take a loan license with a already GMP manufacturer. Sorry. So that provision has been recently added. You can have a loan license. So fees is rupees 2000 for any number of single ingredient homeopathic medicine and rupees 200 per product for combination homeopathic medicine. So form 20C, 24C, you will give an application, you will get the license in 25C. So these numbers are like consecutive. 24C license application, 25C you are granted a license. Then 24C1 is for loan license application, 25C1 is the loan license you are granted. Then we have also introduced a good manufacturing practices certificate. Earlier it was not done, not there. So we have a certificate for GMP for which you need to apply in 24C2 and the certificate is generated in 26C1. So these are the basic form numbers which you need to know. Then I was talking regarding the technical person who will be working in a homeopathic manufacturing unit. So he or she must be a whole-time technical person, like not part-time. So you have to see that under rules, it is mentioned that whole-time technical staff, and they have a requisite qualification, like a graduate in homeopathic medicine with 18 months of experience, a graduate in science with chemistry, botany or zoology with 3 years of experience, or a graduate in pharmacy with 18 months of experience. Like that the experience and the qualifications are given. Now all license holders, homeopathic manufacturers license holders must have GMP, like good manufacturing practices certified. So this certificate has a validity of 5 years, whereas the license have a perpetual. It's perpetual means one time registration and lifetime validity, but your unit should be inspected every 5 years and the certificate of GMP should be renewed every 5 years. The fees for GMP certificate is rupees 5,000. Under the rules, it is also mentioned that the manufacturing unit should have their own lab, quality control lab. If they don't have their own lab, they can make an arrangement with some outside lab. That is also allowed. And so such institutions are mentioned under Part 15A. So before any license is granted, the inspection is done by a drug inspector, and the record, as per, the records, they grant the approval, seeing those, the records. Two things are important over here, that only glass is allowed for making mother tinctures and no color except caramel for syrups is allowed. In homeopathic medicines, no colors are allowed except caramel in syrups. So anyone who is like into wanting a sale license or manufacturing license and they are aggrieved, then whom they will report if they are not getting a license or some they have some grievance with the licensing authority, they can only appeal to their state government. Okay, many a times we see that they complain to the central government, but it is not the central government power, so they have to appeal to the state government only. Now, important part is the labeling and packaging of homeopathic medicine. Those who are into homeopathic regulation, for them it is so important. But as a consumer also, other people also need to know that what all should be there on the label. And when you are working as a medical officer or as a clinician in private practice also, some patients will come with, they will show some homeopathic medicine that we have been taking this. So you have to see whether it is of standard labeling and packaging, they are following the rules or not. If anything you find suspicious, you may report to the pharmacovigilance centers or to the drug authority as well. So labeling of homeopathic medicines, it is prescribed that the medicine full name should be there with the potency should be mentioned. If it contains alcohol, then the alcohol content % by volume of ethyl alcohol should be mentioned on the label. Okay. Then no proprietary name is allowed for single ingredient homeopathic medicine. What does this mean? Like single ingredient homeopathic medicine, most frequently like Nux vomica, Rustox, Anika, arsenic album. These medicines will come with their own name, full name. You cannot write a particular company's name or a proprietary name with those medicines. They will be coming with their own original name. You cannot give a proprietary or trade name to those single ingredient homeopathic medicine. For combination, you can have your own name. So this is important. Then very important is rule 106b, like percentage percentage of alcohol. There's a restriction in what packaging will be allowed. So if a homeopathic medicine contains 12% or more alcohol, then it cannot be sold beyond 30 ml in retail outlets. Okay. Beyond 30 ml in retail outlet, it is not allowed if it is containing more than 12% alcohol. In government dispensaries and hospitals, 100 ml bottles are allowed. Okay, so this is very important. Now talking about homeopathic pharmacopoeia, previous speakers have also mentioned regarding the pharmacopoeia. So pharmacopoeia describes the standards which needs to be followed for these medicines. So in homeopathic pharmacopoeia, we have the 11 volumes and about 1185 drugs. In this, there is characterization of the single ingredients, their identification, the testing protocols will be mentioned, and some certain preparation of homeopathic medicines, like he was talking about no sods, how it will be prepared, those are all mentioned. So these are the statutory requirement, and every homeopathic manufacturers have to first follow the homeopathic pharmacopoeia of India. All manufacturers of homeopathic medicine must be good manufacturing practices compliant. This was brought in year 2008. So by now, I think all the manufacturers are GMP compliant, and if they are having a GMP, then only license will be given. Otherwise, license will not be given. We have a recent amendment in the GMP requirements. This amendment were placed in the public domain on 14 February. So the stakeholder comments have been, they have been deliberated in various meetings, and then the final amendment to this GMP will be brought. So what is GMP? Those who are in manufacturing side, they know that these are basic guidelines which our manufacturers have to follow, like how the production will be done, how will be the testing. So these are general principles which whenever you read about GMP, whether it is WHO GMP, EU GMP or domestic GMP, whatever, these are basic guidelines. Beyond that, a manufacturer can go beyond it and have a more robust quality assurance. But these are the basic requirements which we must follow. So it is the company's responsibility to determine the most effective and efficient quality process. Under this GMP requirements, which is mentioned for homeopathic medicine, it is prescribed under the Schedule M1. Like for modern medicine, it is Schedule M. For homeopathic medicine, it is Schedule M1. And for ASU medicine, it is Schedule T. So these schedules, the name you must remember. So for homeopathic medicine, it is Schedule M1. It describes regarding the raw materials, how it will be stored, how it will be collected, how it will be tested, the manufacturing processes, the quality control, and the documentation. Documentation part is very important. Whenever a drug inspector will go, they will see the standard operating procedures, whether it is being set up on your premises or not, and whether it is being followed or not. So this documentation part is very important. Under the GMP requirement for homeopathic medicine, we have different sections like the mother tincture, mother solutions, potentization sections, container closure section, trituration, tablets, globule making sections, syrups and other oral liquid sections, ointment, lotions, ophthalmic preparation, like Dr. Ramesh was saying, sterility testing for ophthalmic preparation, then quality control divisions. All these sections you need not have the whole sections. Whatever you are taking license for, like you are only going for ointment section, then you have to meet the requirement of ointment section, and you will be provided a GMP only for that dosage form, not for the whole thing. So raw materials, I told you like how collection will be done, storage, identification, handling, packaging, purity, treatment, procedures which needs to be followed for making these mother tinctures, attenuations. Then laboratory constraints like sterility testing, stability testing. This is very important regarding expiry date. So we get lot of question regarding expiry date of homeopathic medicine. This is mentioned under the schedule M1 that only the mother tinctures and the combination products that have a shelf life of 5 years. Otherwise, the dilutions or the back potencies, they do not need to mention the expiry date if preserved under hygienic conditions. The expiry date is not required to be written for them. Then you need to mention the SOPs, record and register, which is very important, and these need to be mentioned. This need to be maintained for 1 year beyond the expiry date, and for 3 years, whichever is earlier, whichever is later.
एक्सक्यूज मी मैम, अभी आपने रिकॉर्ड्स के बारे में बताया एसओपी की 1 year after expiry. It's only for homeopathic या it's applicable for all in Ayurveda
All
and
system
Unani?
में ये ऐसा प्रोटोकॉल रहता है सभी सिस्टम में
कि we can up to date record up to after expiry 1 year.
हाँ.
Okay, thank you very much.
फिर ड्रग इंस्पेक्टर का है, ये ड्रग इंस्पेक्टर वाला और भी जो आएंगे दे विल एक्सप्लेन बेटर. एंड आई थिंक इज देयर एनी ड्रग इंस्पेक्टर लाइक वन पर्सन ना? हाँ, तो ड्रग इंस्पेक्टर वाला डॉक्टर विजय गर्ग आएंगे. ही विल बी एलैबोरेटिंग मोर ऑन दिस. So this was regarding the regulation of homeopathic medicines and the basic provisions under the Drugs and Cosmetic Act and rules. Apart from this, like for the post-marketing surveillance, we have the pharmacovigilance program of ASU and H drugs. We have about 100 centers all over India, those who are looking after the pharmacovigilance program. So any adverse reaction or side are being reported to this pharmacovigilance centers, and they then evaluate it, and then they find the causes to effect of these drugs. And if it is of serious condition, then it is being reported as adverse reaction. Then these are the important
मैम, एक
websites.
चीज और है, कोई स्टैंडर्ड रिकॉर्ड्स का कोई स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्मेट भी है?
हाँ, वो है, ये जो पोर्टल है ayushsuraksha.com. इसमें आपका ये रिपोर्टिंग फॉर्मेट का दिया हुआ है फॉर मिसलीडिंग एडवर्टाइजमेंट एज वेल एज फॉर दिस एडवर्स रिएक्शंस. ये ayushsuraksha.com, इफ यू विजिट दिस साइट देन द फॉर्मेट इज गिवन ओवर देयर.
नहीं मैडम, जो बीपीआर वगैरह जो हम लोग बनाते हैं उसका कोई स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्मेट होम्योपैथिक या यूज?
अच्छा, आप बोल रहे हैं कि मैन्युफैक्चरिंग साइड में जो बीएमआर रिकॉर्ड्स वगैरह है,
उसका
नहीं, उसका कोई स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्मेट नहीं है. एंड एक्चुअली जो मैन्युफैक्चरर अपने हिसाब से जिस तरह करना चाहे वो करते हैं, बट दे शुड बी एबल टू जस्टिफाई दैट, है ना?
मैडम, उसके अंदर एक क्वेश्चन आता है, मैं आपको बताता हूँ, प्रैक्टिकली एक क्वेश्चन है. जब आयुष इंस्पेक्टर जब आता है फैक्ट्री के इंस्पेक्शन पर जाता है, तो वो हर एक का अपना अपना तरीका होता है. वो कहता है कि ये रिकॉर्ड गलत है. सेकंड आता है, वो कहता है ये फर्स्ट रिकॉर्ड गलत है. अब आप इसके अकॉर्डिंग करो, इसीलिए मैंने स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्मेट पूछा है.
हाँ, होम्योपैथी
प्रैक्टिकल जो हम फेस करते हैं वो आपसे पूछा है.
होम्योपैथी जो सिस्टम है वो खुद ही इंडिविजुअलाइज सिस्टम है ना? वी आर डीलिंग विद पीपल हु आर नॉट सेम. Okay, every individual is different, so every individual's understanding will also be different. So whatever they are asking will be asking as per their understanding. You can have a discussion with them. Obviously मैं नहीं बोलूंगी आपको कि आप उनसे तर्क करो, because they are on a higher side at that point of time. But anyway, you can have a suggestion from them. If they are giving some input, you can incorporate those suggestions if you think that is important. If you think that you can justify why you are doing this and why you are not doing this, then you can do that as well. So आप समझिए कि कौन पर्सन है और क्या जानना चाह रहे हैं या क्या समझाना चाह रहे हैं. अगर वो सच में लैक्यूना है आपके साइड से, तो आपको वो सजेशंस लेने चाहिए. और अगर आपको नहीं लगता है लैक्यूना नहीं है, आप जो मेथड से कर रहे हो दैट इज जस्टिफाइबल, देन यू कैन ऑल्सो गिव एन एक्सप्लेनेशन.
थैंक यू वेरी मच.
So important website is e-oshd.gov.in. This is very important in recent time because we have brought the all licensing system into online mode. So paperless licensing has been done. For ASU, it has been implemented. For homeopathy also, the licensing, sale license as well as manufacturing license has the run through has been done. So you go through this website. It also has the various notification, etc. So eorcd.gov.in, then pcmnh.gov.in. It is important for those who are working in standards of for testing, because they keep on publishing various monographs or standards, and they ask for stakeholder comments. Means बहुत बार क्या होता है कि people are publishing these standards but no stakeholder comments are coming, and when it is finally published तब बहुत लोगों का objection होता है. So it is right time कि आप you keep on, when you have interest in this subject, you keep on going through this website and give your comments. Then ccrhindia.ayush.gov.in. So these will have the guidelines, the clinical GCP guidelines, then the drug proving guidelines. You follow these guidelines if you want to do the work as per the CCRH guidelines. Then ayushsuraksha.com, that is for the pharmacovigilance and reporting of misleading advertisement. Then cdsco.gov.in, that is the CDSCO website, which has a separate Ayush wing right now. So they have also recently given a checklist for approval of new homeopathic medicine. So any comments on that you can very well give. So these are important websites. Apart from that, any query regarding homeopathic regulation, you can mail me at rachna.paliwal@nic.in. So thank you all of you. So I think that I have thrown some light regarding drugs and cosmetic active rules, which has been very nearest subject. Like yeah, so you must have learned something from here and you will apply on your workplace. So do good job, good service to Ayush. Thank you.
Ma'am, one question.
Yeah.
As you have said, for opening a medical shop, either retail or wholesale, the qualified person should have an experience certificate. One of the options for a person to be QP is to have an experience certificate from a practicing homeopathy practitioner. Am I right, madam? So my question is, what will be the rationale behind it? Because a particular homeopathy practitioner, he might have learned BHMS and MD he has done, and he is only into the practicing part and not the manufacturing part. So what is the rationale between having an experience certificate from that particular practitioner?
Okay. You are, sir?
I am a Unani doctor, madam.
Okay. So this is regarding the qualification I said, 1 year experience is regarding the sale license, not for manufacturing license. So
the
sale license
and the wholesale.
In sale license, they are not doing the manufacturing. In sale license, it is for retail outlet. So for retail outlet, for homeopathic, like the homeopathic practitioners, most of the practitioners, they also like dispense the medicines from their clinic. So they have an experience. I mean, whoever were working with them as an attendant and going in the dispensing part, so basic knowledge they will be having. It is basic like English reading and how much drops of medicines they have to put in the globules, that only. It is not manufacturing. It is just dispensing part.
Second one, ma'am. The GL number, for example, if a person has a drug license for and valid for 5 years, and yeah, in a condition, if that particular person doesn't go for renewal and he gets delayed for 5 more years, so what happened to that? Is there any particular limit for the maximum time in which the person has to go for renewal of the GMP and the manufacturing unit, or that DL number gets blocked over there, or will that be given to another person?
Please turn on the mic.
हाँ, तो अब वो जो GMP रिन्यूअल होता है उसका भी 6 मंथ्स पीरियड है. 6 मंथ्स के अंदर वो अप्लाई करेगा रिन्यूअल के लिए. अगर 6 मंथ्स के अंदर वो नहीं किया तब उसका वो कैंसिल माना जाएगा. अगर 6 मंथ्स के अंदर वो रिन्यूअल के लिए अप्लाई कर दिया, अब उसके पार्ट से उतर गया वो बर्डन. अब इट इज ऑन द पार्ट ऑफ द लाइसेंसिंग अथॉरिटी. ही मस्ट मतलब उसको इंस्पेक्ट कराना है वो यूनिट उस टाइम पीरियड में, एंड इंस्पेक्ट करा के उसको रिन्यू करना है. अगर वो इंस्पेक्ट नहीं कराता है तो वो डीम टू बी अप्रूव्ड हो जाएगा फॉर नेक्स्ट 5 years.
In the case the DL doesn't go. Why I'm asking is, अगर किसी ने कोई एक नेम लिया है for GMP certificate, उन्होंने उससे रिन्यूअल नहीं कराया, तो up to after passing of the 6 months, so can that name be taken by another person to start a new GMP
Name, company name?
Yeah, company name or the number also.
नहीं, वो तो आप फिर अलग चीज में जा रहे हैं, दैट इज नॉट रिलेटेड टू लाइसेंसिंग। कंपनी नेम जो है वो तो फिर उनके बीच में जो कंपनी जो फॉर्म किए हैं उसके एग्रीमेंट पे डिपेंड करता है, वो आपका फिर कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन और उसमें आई मीन कंपनी एक्ट में चला जाएगा वो मैटर।
रजिस्ट्रेशन एक्ट में जाएगा,
हाँ।
ट्रेडमार्क में जाएगा। इसमें कोई ऐसा जैसा कुछ रेगुलेशन नहीं है
इसमें
मैम जो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग लाइसेंस में आपने बताया था, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग लाइसेंस में मैम कि 2000 रुपीज़ को जो फीस है, इट इज़ फॉर एनी नंबर ऑफ सिंगल इंग्रेडिएंट होम्योपैथिक मेडिसिन। इसको थोड़ा एक्सप्लेन कीजिएगा मैम।
पहले क्या था कि वहाँ पर डिफाइन नहीं था कि किसके लिए ये फीस है। जैसे पहले 250 रुपीज़ था और उसमें डिफाइन नहीं था 250 कितने मेडिसिन पे है, मतलब वो एक सिंगल लिस्ट पूरा बना के लाते थे 1000 होम्योपैथिक मेडिसिन का और 250 दे के सब पे ले लेते थे, ऐसा था। या फिर कोई कोई लाइसेंसिंग अथॉरिटी क्या करते थे, दे यूज टू ट्रीट 250 पर मेडिसिन, या कोई लाइसेंसिंग अथॉरिटी उसमें लिखा हुआ कि एडिशनल 50 रुपीज, तो कोई लाइसेंसिंग अथॉरिटी 250 ले रहे हैं फर्स्ट 10 का, फिर एडिशनल का 50। सो ये यूनिफॉर्मिटी नहीं थी
जी।
इसको यूनिफॉर्म करने के लिए फीस अब हमने क्या किया है 2000 फॉर एनी नंबर ऑफ सिंगल होम्योपैथिक मेडिसिन विथ एनी पोटेंसी, लाइक आर्सेनिक, एकोनाइट, नक्सवामिका, फलाना, जितना भी सिंगल इंग्रेडिएंट होम्योपैथिक मेडिसिन विथ एनी पोटेंसी, लाइक एकोनाइट 30, 200, 1M, 2M, 20M, ऐसे जो भी हैं वो सिंगल ही माने जाएंगे और इनके जो सारे सिंगल इंग्रेडिएंट वो भी सिंगल माने जाएंगे। सो एनी नंबर ऑफ सिंगल होम्योपैथिक मेडिसिन विद एनी पोटेंसी विल बी काउंटेड एज अ सिंगल एप्लीकेशन विद अ सिंगल फीस ऑफ 2000 रुपीज। लेकिन कॉम्बिनेशन के लिए पर कॉम्बिनेशन 200 रुपीज रखा गया।
मैम
मतलब सिंगल मेडिसिन तो चाहे एनी नंबर ऑफ मेडिसिन वो ले सकता है, लेकिन कॉम्बिनेशन में जितने भी
200 पर प्रोडक्ट,
200 पर प्रोडक्ट हो।
मैम Akshay this side. So ma'am, my question is ki there is an act, Drugs and Cosmetics Act. So is there any hard distinction between the drugs and cosmetics, or they are you have said ki there is a Drugs Act 1945, right? So drug rule, sorry. So are there cosmetic
earlier,
rules also?
Yeah, earlier
like
it
this?
was Drugs and Cosmetic Act 1940 and Rules 1945. So we used to say Drugs and Cosmetic Rules 1945. But now cosmetic rules has been separately demarcated. So now it is called drug rules 1945, and then we have the cosmetic rules separately. But the act is single, Drugs and Cosmetic Act.
Ma'am, what is this loan license?
लोन मैंने बताया कि फुल फ्लेजेड उनको जीएमपी फैसिलिटी नहीं है, बट दे वांट टू हैव अ लाइसेंस इन देयर नेम, सो दे कैन टाई अप विद अ जीएमपी मैन्युफैक्चरर एंड टेक अ आई मीन लोन लाइसेंस उसको बोलेंगे। लाइसेंस विल बी इन द नेम ऑफ द एप्लीकेंट, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्रेमाइसेस विल बी ऑफ द जीएमपी सर्टिफाइड मैन्युफैक्चरर।
ओके मैम, अगर 2000 रुपीज़ जैसे रिटेल के लिए मैम लाइसेंस लेते हैं, रिटेल के लिए या होलसेल के लिए, और उसने ऑनलाइन फॉर्म फिल किया, 2000 रुपीज़ का फ़ी सबमिट कर दिया, अगर वो फॉर्म किसी वजह से गड़बड़ हो जाता है और उसको रीसबमिट करना पड़ेगा फॉर्म, तो उसके लिए क्या 2000 रुपीज़ की फ़ीस दोबारा से पे करेगा मैम, या सेम फ़ी में ही हो जाएगा उसका?
ये सब तो टाइपोग्राफिकल इश्यूज है, वो वहीं पर ही वो सॉल्व कर सकते हैं, ऐसा नहीं है कि वो
मैम ऐसे इश्यूज आए हैं, मतलब
आए हैं तो
एक बंदे को उसने लाइसेंसिंग अथॉरिटी के जो पीएस होते हैं, ही आस्क्ड हर फॉर 3 टाइम्स कि आप दोबारा से इसको अप्लाई कीजिए और दोबारा से
वो
फीस
सब
भरिए।
इसलिए हमने ऑनलाइन कर दिया कि ये सब इशू ना आए और पूरे इंडिया में यूनिफॉर्म रहे, ये सब इशू के कारण ही कि
ऑनलाइन की ही बात कर रहा हूँ मैं, ऑनलाइन ही।
और हाँ, एक आपने क्वेश्चन किया था स्टार्टिंग में, सॉरी आई मिस्ड, जो आपने पूछा था कि एलोपैथिक मेडिसिन शॉप में होम्योपैथिक मेडिसिन आपने पूछा था।
जी जी मैम।
हाँ, तो उसमें ये है कि शेड्यूल के है, शेड्यूल के में एग्जाम्पशंस होते हैं कि कहाँ पर ये ड्रग्स एंड कॉस्मेटिक एक्ट के कुछ कुछ सेक्शंस नहीं एप्लीकेबल होंगे, वो एक्सेप्शंस जो है वो शेड्यूल के में मेंशन होते हैं। तो शेड्यूल के में होम्योपैथिक मेडिसिन के लिए एक्सेप्शन दिया हुआ है कि आपको सेपरेट आई मीन जो ऑलरेडी लाइसेंस फॉर एलोपैथिक ड्रग्स है, दे कैन कीप होम्योपैथिc medicines in their retail outlet, provided those medicines are kept in sealed bottles and separate from other allopathic drugs. So this has been allowed since 2017. All the homeopathic medicines are allowed, and recently हमने इसको अभी आ जाएगा अमेंडमेंट कि होलसेल में भी अलाउ कर दिया कि होलसेल लाइसेंस होल्डर ऑफ एलोपैथिक ड्रग्स need not have a separate license and they can also keep homeopathic medicines in their I mean,
एट प्रेजेंट तो रिक्वायरमेंट है रिटेलर को भी होलसेलर को भी होम्योपैथिक मेडिसिन रखने की लाइसेंस की।
नहीं, ये बात हो रही है कि एलोपैथिक रिटेल आउटलेट में उनको सेपरेट होम्योपैथिक का लाइसेंस नहीं लेना है।
इन फ्यूचर नहीं लेना, वो आप कह रहे हो आगे आ जाएगा।
वो होलसेल में आएगा, लेकिन रिटेल वाला 2017 से ऑलरेडी देयर,
वो उसको
ऑलरेडी इट इज देयर। हाँ,
उसको लेना पड़ेगा।
नहीं, ऑलरेडी देयर, उनको नहीं लेना है, दे आर एग्जेम्प्टेड।
अच्छा, रिटेलर
हाँ, तो कोई भी अगर होम्योपैथिक मेडिसिन रखना चाहे,
रिटेलर आर एग्जेम्प्टेड, इन फ्यूचर होलसेलर विल बी।
हाँ,
okay, thank you very much.
Ma'am, my question is related with the new homeopathic medicine. Yeah, here.
Yeah.
New homeopathic medicine. So, what about the safety and efficacy data? Whether this new homeopathic medicine will go for the preclinical and clinical trials or some new criteria has
so for
been.
that I said कि CDSCO के वेबसाइट में हमने एक चेकलिस्ट डाली है फॉर न्यू होम्योपैथिक मेडिसिन। तो उसमें लिखा हुआ है कि कहाँ पर सेफ्टी एफिकेसी ज़रूरत होगी, और उसमें अगर आप ऐसा कुछ इंग्रेडिएंट ला रहे हैं जो विच इज नोन एज अ टॉक्सिक सब्सटेंस, तो ऑब्वियसली इन दोज केसेस सेफ्टी विल बी रिक्वायर्ड। एंड अगर आप कोई एक पर्टिकुलर क्लेम नहीं ले रहे हैं तो फिर एफिकेसी डेटा जरूरत नहीं होगी। तो देयर इज अ चेकलिस्ट, यू गो थ्रू इट, एंड इफ योर कमेंट्स इज देयर देन यू कैन comment to CDSU.
So ingredient must be from the pharmacopoeia itself, or the new combination can be created?
It is not from pharmacopoeia, that's why it is called new. So अगर pharmacopoeia में होता then it will be not counted as new homeopathic medicine.
Some ingredient from the pharmacopoeia and some new ingredient.
Then it will be new.
Okay, thank you so much.
अभी मैम एक क्वालिफिकेशन फॉर कॉम्पिटेंट पर्सन के लिए एक इग्नू से होम्योपैथिक फार्मेसी में एक डिप्लोमा है, उसको वो अटैच करते हैं। तो इज इट अ क्वालिफिकेशन और नॉट?
इन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग नहीं है, इन सेल इट इज देयर।
सेल, हाँ, यस, इन सेल होम्योपैथिक डिस्पेंसिंग, the diploma says it is in diploma in homeopathic dispensing, not in homeopathic pharmacy. Though the drug our book says it should be diploma in homeopathic pharmacy.
देखिए, ये DNC में जो है वो मिनिमम रिक्वायरमेंट दिए रहते हैं, इट इज नॉट अ रिक्रूटमेंट रूल्स। ओके, ये समझना होगा कि हम क्वालिटी ऑफ मेडिसिन जानने के लिए जो रिक्वायरमेंट है, मिनिमम स्टैंडर्ड्स या मिनिमम रिक्वायरमेंट्स, क्वालिफिकेशंस वी आर मेंशनिंग ओवर देयर। इट कैन नॉट बी कंटेस्टेड एज अ रिक्रूटमेंट रूल्स, है ना, कहीं भी RR नहीं है वो किसी चीज़ का। तो अगर वो कंसिडर कर रहे हैं, मतलब इसके हिसाब से तो नहीं होना चाहिए जब फार्मेसी मेंशन्ड है, बट आई कांट से कि वो वहाँ पर क्या हुआ है, वो स्टेट के क्या रिक्वायरमेंट थे जहाँ पर उनको लिया गया है।
नहीं, वो स्टेट हमारे उत्तराखंड में ही वो अप्लाई कर रहे हैं लोग, और दे आर प्रेजेंटिंग दिस एज।
तो वो स्टेट एक्सेप्ट कैसे कर रहा है वो देखना होगा, व्हाई स्टेट इज एक्सेप्टिंग।
वी हैव नॉट एक्सेप्ट,
उनका कुछ क्राइटेरिया में मेंशन्ड अगर है तो वी कैन कमेंट, बिकॉज देयर आर सेवरल स्टेट अमेंडमेंट्स आल्सो अंडर द DNC एक्ट।
No, we have
स्टेट अपने हिसाब से एनफोर्स करने के लिए अमेंड भी कर सकते हैं।
We have not accepted it because it is written right away.
Okay, if you are not accepted, fine.
But there, the people are saying that I have done it in from IGNU, the diploma in homeopathic dispensing.
नहीं, लेकिन आप अपर हैंड में, if you are not accepting, then not accepting ना, you can go with whatever is written.
Okay, thank you.
मैडम, मेरा एक सवाल ये है, मेरे यूनानी रिटेल शॉप है, उसमें होम्योपैथी या आयुर्वेदिक मेडिसिन रख सकते क्या उसमें?
यूनानी
रिटेल शॉप है एक मुझे, हाँ। उसमें होम्योपैथी और आयुर्वेदिक मेडिसिन।
होम्योपैथी तो नहीं रख सकते हैं, बिकॉज होम्योपैथिक मेडिसिन के लिए आपको सेल लाइसेंस चाहिए। ASU मेडिसिन के लिए कोई सेल लाइसेंस का प्रोविजन नहीं है।
ASU के लिए कोई सेल लाइसेंस नहीं है, क्योंकि हमारे तेलंगाना में तो पूछ रहे हो लोग, आप बगैर लाइसेंस के जैसे कि रिटेल शॉप नहीं खोल सकते यूनानी के लिए।
अभी डॉक्टर विजय गर्ग का लेक्चर है, इसके बाद आप यू कैन क्लियर।
ठीक है सर।
You know, these all three today, Madam Rachna, then Dr. Vijay Garg, and tomorrow we are inviting Dr. Khalid also. He's
Khalid sir,
so he will come tomorrow. And these three in regulatory point of view से आप कुछ भी आप लोग
सही है,
केवल ऐसा नहीं कि यहाँ इंडस्ट्री के लोग हैं मैडम, चाहे एकेडमिक लोग हैं, पॉलिटिशियंस, गवर्नमेंटल्स भी हैं, they all wanted to know that how the regulatory things has to be taken care of in this ASU unit system. तो आप इन तीनों को न सिर्फ सुनने की चीज़ है, बल्कि आप लोग जैसे आप भी इंटरेक्शन कर रहे हैं,
जो भी आपके दिमाग में है वो आप जरूर आपको क्लियर करिएगा, पूछिए। थैंक यू।
थैंक यू जी, थैंक यू।
मैम कुछ प्लेटफॉर्म्स भी पता हो हमें कि जिनसे हम अपने यहाँ के जो ड्रग इंस्पेक्टर्स हैं उनको फ्रीक्वेंटली इस तरह की कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग और जगह करा सकें, तो वो जी ओके, थैंक यू।
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much. The session was truly informative and inspiring for all of us. We deeply appreciate, madam, the time and effort you devoted for this lecture. Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to request to our director, sir, kindly felicitate to Dr. Rachna Paliwal, madam, by giving a certificate. अब हम लोग छोटा सा एक टी ब्रेक लेंगे, उसके बाद फिर हम लोग नेक्स्ट लेक्चर के लिए यहाँ असेंबल होंगे।